Okay. Happy Monday. Let's see if this works, if she records and does the whole thing this week, because she did not want to do her last week, but we will find out. Let's see. The show works great when you participate. We've got E.T. Ricky.
Is it working? It's working.
It is
And
working.
we want to apologize for last week because we just got the vehicle idling perfect. We came off the hot, like a little bit to start up the high RPM, the high idle.
Let's go.
We got her just running perfectly, and we started to get into a little bit of temperature, which I like. The motor was kind of running. You look at the temperature gauge; it's coming up. Ryan's right now getting in my doggie. She's blind. She's getting blind at her age, and he's getting that in, which is very nice. Thank you very much. Um, so the heat gauge just started coming up on the engine, and all of a sudden the internet decided to screw up. And we deeply apologize to you. And also, we'd like to say one thing. This is brought to you this evening by Sunset Tomatoes. They are it's a beefsteak tomato, and they're so good, especially with a little bit of Worcestershire, little salt and pepper. Put it on a little piece of bread, and even if you get some bacon on there with these sunsets, you're going to be so happy. Okay, swing it over to you, right? Swing it. There you go. I hope everybody's awake because this is going to be a lively show, and ask all your friends to come on in and listen.
We don't have many people on.
Well, that's good.
Brian's with us.
Only one person.
And Nelson and
Yep.
Michael Peevler.
Oh, three.
We got three on.
What do they say? Two's company, three's a crowd. One of you guys going to have to get off the show because
You gotta do me a favor and wash that sweater. Do you want me to tell you why?
Why?
It smells like you've been cutting grass in it.
Hey, whatever it smells like, at least I'm not smoking grass tonight. You know what I mean? Cutting grass is smoking grass. Is that the same as smoking grass?
I don't know.
The one thing I'm going to say is I'm not.
You are really going
I'm
to.
not a mutton yet. You know what I mean? I'm mutton.
Yeah, you were saying that before. What do they call a what?
A mutton. I'm not a mutton.
What's a sheep? What did you say? Another word for a sheep is?
A sheep is a younger version of an old sheep. An old sheep is a mutton. So a mutton would be, to you guys out there that are still sheep, watch out, because you're going to turn into a mutton soon. And that's like old sheep. It's like, holy shit, man. So we're not like that, right? I'm not like an old mutton yet. I still got a little spark, eh? I can still jump in the field, over the fence, do whatever I feel like.
Don't keep clicking the pen. Let it go. Relax.
This is a nervous activity.
Yeah, so just put it down because we can hear that.
I always liked that when I was in university. I always used to do this.
Well, it'd be hard for you to not pick it back up.
Okay, again.
Anyways, okay.
Brought to you by Sunset Tomatoes.
Sorry, guys.
If you're getting bored.
If you don't like the channel, just change it. I even sometimes want to just change the channel because it's painful for me.
Why don't you change it?
I can't because you're on every station. You're on every station, Ricky. You're like ET with that hat on. Yeah, watch that. If you hit that, mother, that'll fall off. That phone's already fallen twice tonight.
That internet thing there, don't even breathe.
She's sensitive. So the group is awful quiet tonight. The show works best when you guys participate. I'm not sure tonight what I felt like talking about. I wanted to be on at 8, but we ran into some technical difficulty.
A little bit. What's called
dinner.
Hot dog tonight. It was very nice. We had a good hot dog. I haven't had a hot dog in 3 or 4 months.
Now you had one.
With the onions, tomatoes, whatever you made. And
pickles.
We only got one left after the show.
That's for you. That's for you. I had 2. You're going to have 1. No, I had 2. You're going to have 2 after. I know you wouldn't be able to eat 2 at dinner, so I made you 1.
No, I like to have, right?
So,
Okay, wait.
well, Josh Tribley says, question for the conversation for conversation's sake, says Mr. Josh Tribley. Hey, Josh, thanks for tuning in. You know what, Josh? You started the show tonight, so this is a good thing. Let's say you did everything right. You have a champion bird. It has won 7 races in 2 years. How would you breed him back to his mother, to his nestmate, to another champion? Well, I'm going to be honest with you. Let's ask the question first. He won 7 races. That's very good. That means we know he can race. He can race. Then
That's for first year or second year?
I read it. In 2 years, he
2
won
years,
seven
yeah.
races. Okay. Now the question you got to say is, why in the world would we breed him to his mother? How many races did his mother win? How many races did she win? Was she a champion bird in the combine? How many races did she win? Let's just hypothetically say she won nothing. We could just say that. She won nothing. Okay, let's look at pairing him to his sister. What did his sister win? How good was his sister? Nothing. So, in my opinion, I would go out and get another super good racing pigeon, put them together. That's what I would do.
Or maybe the best hen in his loft,
Right. Or
and
the
put
best
that the
10.
very best hen. Like she's got to come in that.
But
What would you say in the
well,
top 5%?
it's got to be on kind of his level, right? Got
That's
to
what.
be close. Got to have won a couple
Yeah.
races, or you know what? Maybe there's a hen that he's got that's been second to him 7 times. Who knows, right?
That's what I'm saying. The best hen
Right.
in the loft.
But see, a lot of people are doing this brother to sister or mother to daughter matings, and the question you got to say is, well, why? Why? You know, if the mother never raced, you know, or the mother's not a super breeder, you know,
I think he's feeling that
it's a good question.
he. My question to you, Ryan, is,
Mm.
if you don't mind me asking,
What? What?
he bred this pigeon out of a pair,
Mm-hmm.
bred a good pigeon, a good working bird.
Mm-hmm.
So he wants to keep that blood close to the tree that he has. Like he has a pair and they bred. Now, I'm going to ask, how many youngsters did that pair raise, and did you fly to get this one bird? Like,
Yeah, that's another thing.
the,
How much did the pair? How many babies did the pair breed? Now
the,
you've also been racing them 2 years. So in the second year here, you've obviously taken a pair of youngsters out of them. You're going to see how they're going to fly. The one thing I will,
you think it's obvious, but ask him the question: did he actually take as a yearling a pair of youngsters, and what way did he have that bird paired to? Right.
repair them up to the parents. That's it. Okay. Um, other thing I would say is if he's won you this many races, he's basically what I call a cheat code. He's a cheat in a good way. That means he can beat most of your competition that you're flying against. So what I would do is you've flown him 2 years. Hopefully you've taken a round of babies out of him, which you're going to fly. Next year, you're either going to change the hen he's paired to, maybe give him a younger hen on the race team. I would fly him a third year. Respectfully fly him, right? He should be right there again. And this way, you get to try now his children that you raised this year, and you get to try his children that you raised next year. And then you can see what kind of breeding he's doing. And hey, if you want in the off season to pair him to his mother for fun, or to his sister for fun, or to your best other race hen for fun, you can do that too.
Wow.
But I wouldn't
They
be.
can't prove those youngsters
They can't prove.
because they're late in the year, so I wouldn't even bother with it.
No, 100%.
Right.
But some people, they.
Like right now, my own lot personally,
Oh God.
my breeding's it's done. Like whatever I have that hatches by, let's say, the first week of May, that's it around here, because we're going to get into September. The hawks, you can't fly them properly. And the other thing too is I like to keep the first round and second round flying separately. So that's why it just, to me, it's just a waste of time, a third round and a fourth round, because you got, how much time do you have? You understand what I'm saying?
That's true.
And you're concentrating, this fellow's concentrating on old birds. He's looking at his cock. So now he's got young birds coming up. If he's going to fly young birds, it's kind of a,
Well, I would definitely race him another year because he's obviously he can win, and that's what you want. Another comment here, or you could breed it to the best producer. Champions don't necessarily produce champions. You're 100% right. You can also breed it to your best producer in your loft. A lot of the times, if they don't produce winners, normally it'll be in the next generation. So you're gonna you want to what you want to know from this pigeon that's won you these races is you want to keep him flying because he's good at it and respect him, but you want to try his children while you're still racing him, and then you can see, oh, his children are producing real good. Okay, now that's almost another win for him. You can stop him then. And you could have his children, and his children aren't doing anything.
The bird is a 2-year-old bird. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the parents. Okay. How many uh, uh, successful offspring off those parents, that would be his brothers and sisters, did you get as youngsters? Did you get turn into be yearlings? Now this guy's 2 years old. How many did you get off those parents? So I'm trying to say here, that bird could be a one-time wonder.
That's right.
That's it.
And the other thing is here's the thing. If the bird wins 7 club races, okay, and you're not in a club with 25 members, okay, I'm going to use 20, 25 members, 15 members, 18 members.
How did it do in a combine?
How did it do in a combine? Don't get, I think, overconfident in that. You want to see how it does against a group. In a bigger group, 30 lofts, 40 lofts, 50 lofts, a little bit more. Hey, 500, not 500 lofts, 150 lofts, if you have that competition. Not everybody flying in Canada or the States is going to have that type of competition. I see some combines there, they have, in Calgary, they have 15 members. That's their combine.
In a combine.
Right. So, those birds that are winners, right? They're not the same winners as a guy flying in Florida in the GHC flying against 150 lofts. Not the same.
Okay,
it can't be.
And they're not the same birds flying in, again, in Belgium.
That's right.
In their group
of 50,000 pigeons.
No. In their group in the Antwerp region, there's 1,450 flyers just in that one area. So, and we can look at flyers here in Canada. You got this EOC group. How many flyers would there be in there flying right now?
30.
30?
30.
30 flyers in the EOC group. Okay. That, it's a joke.
Well,
okay, honestly,
but that's just the amount of members that there is.
Yeah,
that's the area.
That's right. Like, so exactly what you said.
And again, I wouldn't be going if it was me. I wouldn't be going, and if I fly in an area where my combine has 100 members in it. My combine has 100 members that's flying.
100, yeah, okay.
100 members at 20 birds a week. That's 1,000, 2,000, 1,500 birds a week going up. Okay? I don't go to a combine that's smaller, and buy pigeons and bring them in to fly. I don't. I only go to a combine that's double or triple the size of it to bring birds in because I need smarter and better pigeons.
100%. And as we talked again, we keep talking about Belgium and the Antwerp region. Those people are going up between 20,000 and 60,000 birds.
And if you
and that's not just that's not coming out of the Antwerp region. That's there's about 9 regions in there. where these pigeons are going up.
But
They got to go up. Like they got.
this is why the world always goes to Belgium, pretty much, and Holland to get the best pigeons, because the competition is that if you can win in Belgium, you can bring the same pigeons here and win with them. You can take them to Florida and win with them. You can take them to Colorado and win with them. You can probably take them to anywhere.
But you got. I understand what you're saying, Ryan. But if you're a dumb sheep, or wait, a mutton, you ain't going to do it.
Well,
Because you got to have a mentality. You got to have
I understand all that part.
Now you see, folks, we're starting to get the motor
No,
running now.
but I understand that part. But you can, you know what? If you're going to start, we're saying start with the
best.
with the best. Start with the best, and then you're going to have to put that work ethic in. You're going to have to put all that other shit in that you're going to need to do it.
100%.
Just because you buy the car doesn't mean you can drive it. The car, hey, a Ferrari does 0 to 60 in 1.8 seconds, right? Right. Sitting there, it doesn't do it. You have to push that pedal and know how to push the pedal and know how to make it do it. And you know what? A lot of pigeon
Same as the best guitar in the world.
Yeah. But a lot of pigeon men, well, you can say they just don't put that work into
Have
it.
you ever watched somebody that, they made some money and they came from a broken down Toyota? They made some money, and the next thing, or they had an old pickup truck, and then they made money, and all of a sudden the guy, he made good money. He bought himself a Ferrari. Now watch him, or a Corvette. Let's say a Corvette, or whatever. All of a sudden you see him on the road. He looks like he could drive the car, man. He's like, I got a Corvette now, or I got a Porsche. I can do it.
Yeah, we understand.
No, excuse me, he can't do it because he thinks he can do it, but he can't.
Right. But anyways, so getting back to this with Josh, he says 3 out of 4. He's got 3 out of 4. So he's got maybe 3 out of 4 youngsters, or 3 out of the 4 siblings, or the parents have bred 3 out of 4 decent ones. The only way I'd be putting him back to his mother or his father is if they've bred other good pigeons and them themselves are good pigeons. You ever think about this? No. You only want to, I think, inbreed pigeons.
I would only take those youngsters and mate them into material that I want to improve.
So what are you talking about?
Well, he wants to inbreed. You're gonna
No, I didn't say he wanted to inbreed.
No, he asked, is it better to take him and put him to his mother or whatever? And what do you do with the offspring there? Then I would take that offspring and actually mate that to something that I had was flying real well as well.
If I, know what? If I did mate him back to his mother, I'd still fly those youngsters. I want to see how they do.
I know what you would do.
I'd still want to see them fly. I still want to see how they come out. I want to see how they're built. I want to see how they act. I want to see it. I think people just bloody well too much inbreeding because of the pedigree. Oh, the pedigree. Oh, the pedigree. Oh, the pedigree. Why? You think about it, eh? When you inbreed, if you're not inbreeding to super high quality, you're really just inbreeding a bunch of flaws. Hey, take a look at the barn pigeons. They're all inbred, eh? In those barns. Do you ever see how their bodies? They're all small, snipey. There's nothing to them. Bill Estelle says, brother and sister mating make no sense. You aren't going anywhere, just flushing the genes. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. If you had a super brother and sister, they were both mega winners, ace pigeons, sure, okay, try it out. If they like each other, try it out. If they match each other, try it out. Again, I think you're going to get.
I would really like to have someone on the show tonight that's a real professional on genetics. And I don't think we're strong enough to make that point. And if I can just break for a minute, this show is brought to you by Sunset Tomatoes. They're delicious beefsteak tomatoes. Thank you.
I'll say this. My first bet for that pigeon wouldn't be to inbreed him. That wouldn't be my first bet. My first bet would be to put him to another super racer. That would of a different family. That's what I'd be my number one thing.
First of all, are the parents close related?
I don't know
Or,
that. You're asking me
well, I'm
questions.
just asking. Excuse me, sir. Are the parents are they out of inbreds? Two inbreds put together. This is how you got this bird. What's the background on the parents?
I just think overall you're better off to play him to something good, a different pigeon. Play him to that. See how it
A
goes.
lot of time, if you take an inbred from, uh, let's say, Willie Daniels, take an inbred from Sorel Lambrex, who are two super racing pigeon people, and put those two together, the youngster,
It might be good.
you're gonna get good. It's gonna work for you. It's gonna really work for you. Now, what you got to do is, once that youngster works real good, now what do you do with it? You can buy the most valuable pigeons in the world. You have a whole collection, and you breed them once, you put them together once, and you got success. Now, what do you do with comes after that? Where do you take that bird? Where do you put him?
No, you can take the bird back to Willie Daniels lines of pigeons, or you can put him back to Lambrick's lines of
That's
pigeons.
right.
But
And, and that, and that and that's
that you're
how
sort of building a line then, or a family, or whatever.
and what you get is a Willie Daniels and a Lambrix. They communicate the people. Say, let's do this. Now, when it happens, now let's do that. These people work together. They create
And
machines.
you know what? And I think overall, the best thing you can do is just keep putting the good ones to the good ones. That's the best advice, because the good ones to the good ones, the odds are the pigeons, and we mean good ones. A pigeon that races a whole season gets wins or championships or top prizes. You pair it to another bird that does the same thing. The one thing that you know in the pedigree is both the parents can fly. And that means when these ones go together, the baby shouldn't be lazy. The baby should be smart. The baby should have athletic bodies. You need a little bit of luck too. Good ones to good ones. How many guys do you hear say, I put the champions to the champions, or the champion to a brother and sister of another champion? You hear it. Good ones to good ones. I think is the best.
Fly them to the end.
And fly them to the end. The more that you fly them, and the more that you test them, and
But you got to be able to get up and work with that team. Again, we talk about it. Get up in the morning or whatever your schedule is, and work with the team. Don't just uh,
well, we talked about it the other day. We talk, and you know, I was talking with Lars, and they fly there. He flew Limoges is 600 kilometers, 650 kilometers, and they let up. I don't know. There was 13,000 pigeons or 14,000 pigeons, and in the first hour getting birds home, the speeds are 1,400, so the speeds are quick. They only get 250 birds home in the first 2 hours out of that, out of in that Antwerp area, maybe 1,500 birds in the Antwerp area, in his area.
yeah,
But they're let out with maybe 15,000 pigeons.
right.
And we say, well, why are the returns so poor?
Um, you're asking me. I'll say. I think out of that, how many birds said 200, 300?
There was in the Union, there was about 1,400.
Yeah, but how many returns?
There was, I think, in the first 2 hours, there's about 250, 300.
So what I look at is, I think those birds out of people that are a little more serious. That's what I think.
Well, I looked at one of the guys that was in there, Bart and Nance Van Okel. They put 50 birds in the race. They had in the first 20 positions, they had 6 or 7 birds. And I said to Lars, I have a feeling Loft flying is a great thing. It's beautiful. But pigeons only loft fly, really race loft fly for about 10 to 12 minutes. And then they do a lot of loft fly, I call it playing, soaring. And I think the pigeons need a little more work, a little more serious work. And I don't think the pigeons get it.
In,
And I think
in
the
Belgium.
and I think that they got good condition, but they don't have that killer instinct.
They don't train enough on the road. Maybe these people.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
you're saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Because
don't think loft line will ever stimulate a training toss. As good as they will loft fly,
mm,
when you take them, even let's just say 40 kilometers, and they work for 30, 35 minutes or 40 minutes, depends on how that wind is. There's no gliding, there's no play flying, there's none of that. It's serious. Let's get down and dig.
well, I believe what you said. If you want to take a bird there, for what 10 kilometer 6 mile toss, it takes you 35 minutes to get there
Yeah. Well,
because the roads are this way,
think
this way,
about
this
this.
way, this.
Lars said to me today, he took his pigeons, 54-kilometer training toss. Okay? To take them 54 kilometers, he had to drive 80 kilometers.
Yeah,
Right?
because everything's so tight. It's if you haven't been there, it's very tight. I mean, I where I live right now, I'm let's say 15 minutes from a town called Stouffville, and I just get on this straight road. I go up two concessions, turn right, go down two concessions, make a left, boom, I'm in Stouffville. Well, if you're in Belgium, it's like, God, man, it's like
Well,
you're gonna go through two or three little towns to get to Stouffville. This way, this way, this way, this way. Stop, cross over, go on another road, cross over. It's like very hard. So those
it's very painful.
people have, So
Uh,
it
Mil-
is painful.
Milton says he's still waiting for my good ones. Yeah, we got the birds. The birds are still in quarantine. The birds haven't finished the Canadian part of the quarantine, and then they're going to have to sit an additional 45 days here while they wait to be approved to go to the United States. So a little bit more time, but just be patient. Don't worry. All they're doing is sitting and enjoying the cool Canadian summer so far. And it has been cool. But yeah, getting back to pigeons, I think a lot of the pigeons are underworked. I think they're underworked, and then they're put into a race where you're asking them to do well. If you play against guys that are out to work, you're never going to touch them. You're all asleep. But that's my thought on it.
That's your thought.
And I don't know if I'm right or not.
But I don't know.
And
I believe the Belgian pigeons are the best.
I believe the
Yeah.
Belgian. Listen,
I don't think the Dutch people can touch the Belgian people.
well, no, and like I say there, I look at some of the lofts there. We look at that Van Okel loft. They got 3 people working those pigeons, right? So if they train once a day, or they're loft flying once or twice a day, and training them, those pigeons get a lot of work. And the more work they get, the less rust they have, and the less rust they have, the better they're going to do. And guys, also what I mean in rust is in the brain. In the brain. Up and home. Up and home. It has to get burned into the brain. And the only way they learn up and home is by actually taking them up and home. They can't get that flying at the loft. I don't care what anyone says.
I know what you're saying, Ryan. Myself, my own personal birds. Today, I took them for a toss this morning. I let them come in, had little nibbles. Then I let them go out a little bit. And I took them for a fly this afternoon. Took them for another training toss. You know,
It's good. You might as well.
Enjoying
You,
it.
you have to. You have
Get the
to.
birds trained. The
You have
birds
to.
are doing very well,
You have to teach
and
them.
I'm very, very proud of them.
Yeah. And the other thing, guys, when they train their birds, they're always right from the word go. The birds have to beat you home.
And once you start working with the birds, you don't stop. You keep going. Don't say, well, hey, I took them out, I trained them 3 times, oh, hell with it. I don't need to train them now for another week. It's okay. They're trained. Hey, they're trained. No, you gotta keep on a program and stay with it,
That's right.
right?
Stay with the program and
I
keep.
actually feel guilty if I don't take my birds out. When I got them on the system, I feel guilty if I miss that time. I feel guilty.
Well, sure.
Very guilty.
You know what? They've got all the time in the winter to sit in the loft. It's now the time to play with them. This is the time you enjoy to play with them, and I think play with them. And I think when you're training, you have to allow them to make their mistakes and not scold them on it. And don't be afraid to take them out. Hey, it looks like it's going to rain. You've never done it before? Take them 5 miles. If you already got them 50 miles and you're a little bit worried, drop them back to 5 miles. Drop them back to 10 miles. Up and back, up and back. If you have a bad feeling, hey, take them short.
I love a headwind. I love it.
Yeah, well, headwinds are always good.
I love that.
Now, not a lot of comments. The crowd's awful quiet tonight.
Tonight's show is, because we got a quiet show, this is
Oh.
sponsored by Sunset Tomatoes.
Why? Why do you do that?
Because it's a quiet crowd. Maybe somebody wants to talk about tomatoes tonight. Sunset Tomatoes, gorgeous. Oh, man. Put them on. Oh, get a bit of bacon on there. Worcestershire sauce, little salt and pepper.
Hey,
Put some onions on it. Sunset Tomatoes. Go back to the show. Okay, so let's talk. Do you want to talk about something else, or
I have an interesting question. I look at races. And this is not to knock a race. This is just a simple question.
Mm.
I see there's races. I'm not going to use any names because it doesn't matter because there's 71 races in America. There's a race. A one bird team is $125. If you put one single entry,
You wouldn't call that a team.
No, well, that's what they say. One single entry team. A single entry team.
That's not a team.
Well, I don't know.
Team is more than one person. Right?
Okay, so already,
Okay,
already
one bird entrance.
one bird entrance
Not a team.
is 125. Okay, a five bird team is $600. Okay, a six bird team, you get to send six birds
for 600.
for six birds for 500. Sorry,
500.
for 500. And
So
then
you get kind of a
and then let's say there's a 14 bird team for 1,000. Okay, so here's my question. They got three teams. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, all three different prices. My question for you guys is, let's just hypothetically say you take them.
14 birds.
No, you take them a total of 51 pigeons.
No, I'm gonna make it more simple.
No. I'm saying, let's just say you take them 51 pigeons.
I know what you're driving at.
No, but I got a question for the audience.
Why don't you say 14 birds and you take one extra bird? 14 birds is $1,000. You're coming in?
Okay.
Right.
1,000.
You take one extra. That would be your 15th bird. Are you supposed to get charged $125?
Well, my thought is for the audience, the question that we're saying is it then charged a 14 bird team plus a single bird entry? That's what you're saying.
Yeah. Is that how
what I'm thinking is it should be 14 bird entry, and every bird after 14 birds, you pay the same price as the 14th bird. You pay whatever it is. So if it's $71 a bird, that's what 14 birds equal. Shouldn't you pay the 15th bird is the same price as your team of 14? 16th bird is the same. 17th, 18th, 19th, up to 51, up to 101. Shouldn't you be paying the same price? That's my question. Or Are we wrong? And the price is $1,000 for 14 birds. If you bring me a 15th bird, it is plus 125. If you bring me a 16th bird, it's plus 125.
Mm.
That's my question.
Hey, you know, the way I look at it is,
Oh,
I'm going to give you my answer.
they want the yellow drop tips from last week. I can do that.
They want.
I can get it for you. I'm going to have to get her for you.
And have to say, it's called.
Talk to the camera. I'm going to get him this. The one guy wants to see it, and I'm going to grab it for him.
Okay.
But what do you think of that?
What I'm saying is, they're hungry for the money. If they charge you that 125 for the 15th bird, you put. First of all, some people put one bird in for 125, and then they put 6 birds in for, what did Ryan say? $500, $600. Then, those two categories, they're not looking at, okay, well, if I put, what is it, 14 birds in for $1,000, I say, well, I don't have 14 birds, but or I have, but I'll put in for $1,000. I'll put it in. I got $1,000. Taking that up, that's the incentive. But then he looks at it like, the old saying, the baker's dozen. Okay, you buy 12 dozen, and this is a historical thing. You buy 12 dozen donuts, you get 1 dozen free. They call it. Oh, hold on.
Fucking thing.
We got a problem here.
I get enough ropes. Hang myself with this shit.
You know what they
Now
say?
I got the cord.
Yeah. No, it says good. Yeah. So what I'm saying, watch your step when you come around there. What I'm saying is, okay, the baker's dozen is buy 12 dozen, 12 donuts, you get 1 free. Okay. So in this case, you're advertising, put in so many birds for $1,000, but your next bird is 120.
All right.
You go back to the beginning. Right now I'm holding the show right now. Okay.
Just hold him for
So
just a second.
So
Can I read the comments here?
I'm just saying, what I'd like to say is, you want to know what I like to say? And I hope you're listening to me out there, you hungry whore.
Well,
That's what I like
no,
to say.
we're not. I'm not calling anybody a hungry whore.
I call him a hungry whore.
No. I just wanna. I'm trying to understand.
Yeah.
Right? You're calling somebody a name.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to What I'm trying to figure out. What I'm trying to figure out is when you're
asking the crowd. My opinion is,
why doesn't the race?
Why did you bring this up?
I'm bringing this up for one reason. Because I look at entries into races, and I had someone question me about a race.
Oh,
okay. So that's why I brought it up.
Person had the question.
That question.
How did you feel about that question?
How I would have done it in my race was, if after you put the 14th bird in, you pay whatever. You want to put 120 birds in, it's $71 a bird. That's what the 14 birds equal. That's what I would do.
What I'm saying is, who is charging this kind of extra money, and what's your feeling on it?
Okay, so the Intergreaves goes towards the mob flyers, the guys with deep pockets. Okay, I don't care about what I'm saying is. These races should have these. I call it. You made a 1 bird entry. You made a 5 bird entry. You made a 14 bird entry. Now, why in the world don't they say, for people who want to be big guys, like your Mike Gannis's, or like your Nelson Pigeon or like your Ricky Seven, big guys.
Ricky Seven.
Right, hold on. That want to put in 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 birds. You pay $69 a bird. But you got to be over 20. Any bird or over 14, anything over 14, that's the price you pay. Now, Chris Marshman says, you read the rules and figure it out. I looked at the race the guy was saying. To me, I I don't understand it.
Hey, listen, excuse me, Chris Marshman. Uh, you read the rules. That's the way the rules are. That's the way the rules. Sorry, that's the way the rules are. But that's not. I have to say it. That's not good business.
Hold on a second. Here's another thing. There's no prize money that's coming out of the perch fees. There's none. There's none. There's none. So let me just fire this question out there. If I call up the race, and I'm going to try it, I'm going to do this one day. I'm going to call up a race. I'm going to pick one in the U.S. I'm going to say I want to put 150 birds in. Your perch fee is
whatever it is.
Your perch fee is $150 a bird.
Right.
I'll put 150 birds in. I'm only interested in paying $75 a bird. You want me to tell you what the guy's going to do for that money? He's going to take it because it's his perch fee. He's not giving any of that up to prize money.
Whoever is taking those birds in, and they say you got 14 birds coming in, I got one extra bird. What are you going to charge me for that? And he goes back full price, $125. All I say is, in my mind, you are a hungry whore. That's all you want. You want friggin' money, man. You're a hungry bastard. You want to take the money. I bought a dozen donuts. Normally, they give you one free donut or give you a break.
What I'm saying, if the guy sends 52 birds to a race, and each team of 14, 51 birds makes 4 teams of 14.
Yeah.
Okay? But the guy took the 52nd pigeon.
Yeah.
Come on, are you gonna say to that guy who just gave you 51 pigeons, hey buddy, I'm going to charge you an extra $50? Come on.
I know this one loft. If they're watching the show, you hungry whore. That's what I call it.
Again,
That's
we're
me.
just talking in general. How many races out there are doing it?
There are general races out there doing it.
Can you grab me some
They're
ice?
Hungry whores. That's what I call it. Hungry whore. That's it. Now, what are we doing with these birds?
I'm going to show the guy on a yellow drop trick I learned in Belgium. It works real good.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Now, this feels like a cock, but he's got no muscle on him. He's tight vented. He's feels like a cock though, but he hasn't got the muscle what I like.
Yeah, he's going to the glue factory.
And
that's where he's going.
Cock, eh? This is a cock.
He's a stray.
Yeah. I don't give a shit
Here,
what he
is. Can you grab me some ice?
I just feel it. He's got no muscle.
It feels like shit.
Tight in events. His back are pretty good, but he's got no muscle. But I feel he is a cock. I didn't know he was a cock till I looked at him. He's a cock.
Okay.
So he's really I don't know what this bird's done. He's got nothing.
He's a stray.
Whatever stray he is,
okay.
He couldn't even if he was living in a loft. He should put some muscle on him. He's a piece of shit.
We're just talking.
Oh, by the way,
can you just get me the ice?
Sunset tomatoes.
I'm gonna take that tomato and shove it up your nose in a minute.
I can hold 2 or 3 in my nose, buddy.
But come on, let's go. Ice, not fridge. Ice.
We'll shove it in your ear too.
Leave my ears out of it.
Oh, by the way, we got lots to talk about.
Can you just get the fucking ice, please, for the love of God?
About Dr. Zhivago.
No, we're not talking about Dr. Zhivago.
I don't care. I like to talk about it, Doctor.
I don't. We're not. We're just not. We're not doing that tonight. We'll do that next week.
Oh no,
we're not doing that tonight because I said we're not. We're going to show this.
Who are you?
Me. I'm the boss of the show.
You're not no boss. I told you.
Okay, hold on. Chris Marshall says, I don't disagree with you, but read the rules when you do decide to give how to give a bonus. But
I think this Marshman's right. You know where you're going to play, and you should think about when you're playing against assholes.
Can I ask?
Can I have that?
I'm going to ask you this question. We sell chicken eggs, right? Here, give me your glass. I'll pour it.
No, I'll pour
I'll pour it.
No.
I'm not. This is my stuff.
I'm the man.
No. No. I know what you're gonna do. You're gonna seven me.
No, I don't care.
No. Well, what I was saying is,
Chris Marshman's right. You know the rules. If you're dealing with a hungry whore, don't go and play with him. That's it.
all I'm saying.
I'd like to know the race that's doing the shit game should come on the screen and talk about it.
It's not my job to bring it. Put some mix in
But
it.
if they're watching it, they should come on. But do you know what they are? They're cowards, man.
It has nothing to do with this. It's just that what I call it is giving. I call it a little appreciation.
Explain yourself.
Giving a little appreciation.
Excuse me.
Oh my God!
I want ketchup. I want ketchup with my fries. You know what? It costs you an extra 80 cents.
Hey, can you just stop?
Meanwhile, you're charging me $3 for an order of fries.
Can you just stop?
When I look at that, I just say you're a hungry whore.
Sorry, guys. Trying to bring some stuff up. It's hard with you. But anyway.
Okay, let's get going before this bird shits in my pants.
I hope it does. That'll be the best. That'll be so nice.
I told you exactly what I think of this pigeon, and you told me it was a stray. And I told you exactly why he's shit.
That's right. Now, I wanted to show this, and I'm going to give you the phone so you can hold it. Please. You're going to hold the phone.
Well, that's out of my criteria.
Oh, we know. We know you're lost. This might not work. We're going to try this. Actually, hold the bird for a minute. Can you hold
in one shot? Oh, no.
You might be able to. Okay, so.
Well, this bird feels like
now this is a yellow drop. This isn't a yellow drop bottle. This is a Belgavet eyedropper bottle. Okay. This bottle, though, what's good about it is it's got this top, and the top is real good for yellow drops. So when you're done using these Belgavet drops, okay, you keep this bottle and you fill it up with your yellow drops. And you're going to see why, because you can actually work it properly. So
it only gives you one drop.
It's great. Now, you're going to give me this pigeon.
That feels like a young bird to me.
Younger bird. Yeah. And I just want you gently with your phone. Don't touch the buttons.
I
touch the
and
buttons.
actually, I didn't even have to be Dr. Shivago to tell you that.
I just want you. You know what? I don't think I'm going to be able to do this.
Yeah, you can see the eye.
Okay.
You can see the
people were putting yellow drops into the bird's mouth. Okay? That's great. You don't get as yellow. It's not as bad in the mouth. You open it, put the drops in. But what makes the drops work the best is when you put it in the nose. And there.
Okay, so I had it good there.
Take a look where we are.
There you go, my friend.
There's the nostril. Okay? And you see that nostril. Can you see it? See the bird just sneeze? Played with his nose and he sneezed.
Yeah.
Now with a yellow drop, you put it in the nostril. But it's a bit tricky to get it in.
I agree.
And the nostril is not back here. The nostril is right up here, up in the front. Right up here. See here?
Yeah.
That's where that nostril is. So, when I do it, you follow me here with this pigeon.
You got it right on.
You got it right on.
Yeah, I think I do.
I take my finger and I open up the nostril. Okay? And right at that nostril, I do one look. Did you see him sneeze it out?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, he blew it out. Went up and in.
Uh-huh.
And if his system is correct, when you open his mouth,
it comes into his throat.
Yep. It goes all up in the mouth. It goes up in the brain, cleans it all out, those nasal passages, and it shows up in his mouth. 100%. And all you do is one nostril. So, again, I'm just going to show you guys this. Sorry about this. It might be a little hard to see. Well, yeah, it's too blurry. But that nostril, you go in the nostril and it works great. Here. Let's go back to that camera. I'll take the other one if you want.
Where's your basket? Outside?
At the front door.
So you want to take the
I'm wondering if I can do another one just to show them. Let's just see. Let's rotation it.
So where do you get that bottle, Ryan? That's just a question.
Well, that was a bottle I got in Belgium.
Yeah, I know some people are a little shy to ask the question, and I'm not shy at all. Just to get the answers, where would you buy that bottle? This bird here is
Okay.
just only kicked one flake.
And again, I just want you to see. Let's just bring it here. That nostril. You see the nostril? See up at the front here? Up by this finger. You see that hole? And I can't because it's just a bit. But you bring that drop right to that hole, right there. And that's where he breathes. And one little drop, just the tiniest little drop. And he breathes it in. And when he opens his mouth, it goes yellow. All you need to do is one hole, one nostril. And remember, you do it up at the front. You don't have to go do back down in here. One little drop. The mouth, when they're in good condition, it should show up as yellow. Take it away, Ricky.
So they can't get the bottle. This is like a special bottle, Ryan.
Well, Americans can get this bottle. It's the Belgavet drops, and I use the drops. I like the drops as well for the eyes. But when the bottle's done, I don't use the yellow drop bottle. I pour all my yellow drop bottles into this.
Yeah.
Because this dropper,
It's perfect.
it's perfect. Hey, if it falls over on the side, it doesn't drip.
It doesn't drip. It's the bottle alone is worth $185. Okay, what am I doing with these birds? This barn plug here.
Put them out in the basket in the front there. I just put it out there. Okay, let's get to the question. Sorry, guys. I'll try and get a video of that so you can really see it. I just... Milton says, what do you think about the races with no perch fees? What do you think? You know what I think about that. It's very good. They don't have to work the birds very hard because they need the birds to get to 100 miles. Once they get to their activation, which now isn't even 100 miles anymore, now the activations are like something like 75 miles because they got to make money. Do the yellow drops treat for canker or respiratory? And respiratory. Yeah, they use both. I use it for both. I'm going to use yellow drops on the day of basketing. Also, yellow drops, I use it on the feed as well. I will not use it, though, on the feed unless the birds are eating it. Anything I put on the feed, the birds have to eat. If you put stuff on the feed and the birds don't eat it, there's no. What I mean is, when I feed, the birds have to eat the feed I give them. So if I'm putting something on the feed, I make sure they eat that. But yellow drops on the feed at the beginning of the week is great. A yellow drop in the nose is the best the day of basketing. And, you know, I used to put yellow drops a lot in the mouth. Now, doing it this way with one nostril, I only got to use one drop per pigeon. With this dropper, it literally works perfect. I got perfect hand control. Again, the only thing that gets a little bit yellow are your fingers. And if your wife or your girlfriend bought you an ugly sweater that you don't like or an ugly shirt, wear that for doing it. Because once you get the yellow drop stained on it, you won't be wearing it to any family function. Yeah, unless you have a boyfriend. Eddie Ortiz, hey guys. I'm not into OLRs because the drops. It's BS. To get an army on a drop and wait for the first bird to trap. Eddie, I love you. You're right. I think. I think this is what I think. First drops are first drops. Pigeon racing is the only sport in the world that the pigeon, if there's 20 birds on the first drop, the 20th pigeon is as good as the first pigeon. I'm sorry to say, that's 100% wrong because there's always one pigeon that crosses the pad first. But the one loft races have figured out because pigeon flyers or suckasses, it's really hard to lose $200,000 by 1 second. And if you have 5 birds that come, or 20 birds, you're better to take that 100,000 and divide it up evenly and have a bunch of hungry sheep or happy sheep than a bunch of pissed off sheep. And this is what it is.
Yeah.
And you know what, Eddie Ortiz? I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. But you know what? Nobody's complained about it enough because you all keep going back in.
I think it's crooked. Who's first? Who's first? Who was first
I'm,
in
I'm, I'm,
the door? I open up my kitchen door. Supper's on. Who's the first coming through that door? Could be 50 guys trying to get in that
hey,
door.
listen to this
The
one.
first guy in the door, he's the winner.
There's a guy out in Windsor or wherever. I can't remember his name. He posts these pictures on Facebook.
Yeah.
This is my bird. He gives it a nice name. It came 59th at the Hoosier in the finals, right?
Come on.
He then posts another one. This pigeon came 103rd in Pattaya. He posts another one. This bird came 76th at the Hoosier on the extended race. Okay. Hold on a second. People are liking it, thumbs upping it, giving it, oh, what a great bird. What a great. I want to see winners. I do not want to see a bunch of one loft, poor places giving a pigeon a name. I don't understand it. I'd be embarrassed. I'd be embarrassed to post this stuff. A pigeon that come 55th at the Hoosier. It's a good pigeon. It's a joke. It's asleep. It was never awake. Anyways.
Hey, listen, we all have goals. I know a fella that was at the Hoosier and he had a bird. His bird, he was, I don't know, Hoosier took in 5,000 birds or whatever it was. And he said, you know what? My pigeon on the last one was 728. And he said, I'm really hoping for the next race to get it to 500 or 499.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, that's great. That's a great hope.
Do you know why he wanted to get to 500?
They can't all have 6,000 pigeons coming all in number one. You know that. It don't work like that.
But they making, hey, and we can use the Hoosier. I can use it. We can use Pattaya. We can use these races, these big races. Their prize payout. They're paying out a pigeon that places 250th. A what? A pigeon that places 250th. Does it earn $1? Does a pigeon that finishes 250th deserve more money than the bird to finish 20th? Does it earn the same? Should it earn the same amount as the bird that finished 50th? No, it shouldn't earn any money. I don't think.
Hey, you know what?
It shouldn't. And maybe I'm sounding sour, but
No.
man, you want to cut down these one loft races big time? You just get rid of these ridiculous
There was a
payments.
race last year. There took the guy a minute and 40 seconds to get the first bird in from 300 miles, 500 clicks. A minute and 40 seconds. A minute and 40 seconds. Can you imagine that? A minute and 40 seconds. Hold on. The Benzing clock system can clock how many birds in 1 minute? How many?
I don't
A
know.
100.
I don't know.
100. 100.
I don't know about if it can do 100. It can do more than that.
More than that. 150, 200 in 1 minute. It can clock over 100 birds or 100 birds in 1 minute. In 100 birds. It took this race a minute and 40 seconds to clock the first bird from 500 kilometers, 300 miles. I'm sorry, but
Okay.
we're going to go back to that now. But
We're not.
that is a plain, I'd say, shit show, man.
We were just saying how the payments aren't right.
Yeah, I know. But hey, that's the way the, what do you call it? The sheep like it, or the mutton.
Hold on.
The mutton likes it.
Eddie Ortiz says ship positions, if not at the top 10, at least. And you know what? I am great with these one-off races saying on the final race, the top 10. Isn't it kind of funny, guys? And let's just think about this. And I'm going to use the Hoosier because we all know it. I think the first race, they pay the first 5 pigeons at clock or the first 10 pigeons at clock. The second race, the first 10 pigeons at clock. The third race, the first 10 pigeons at clock. But on the final race, we pay out the first 250 pigeons. And do you want to know what they hope? I hope the mutton, they all come back again next year.
That's right.
And you want to know what? It should be the first 10 pigeons. You take whatever prize money's there and you break her down properly for those pigeons. But you know what you're going to get? You're going to get a whole bunch of pigeon flyers that won't come back to your race. Because we talked about it.
Exactly.
We talked about it.
Exactly what I said. The guy said I was 700 and something in this one race at this Hoosier shit show. And I really hope to get 500 or 450 or 480. I hope to get in there. Like, I mean, that's like the shit show. That Hoosier is a shit show. It's been running 5 years, 10 years. It's a shit show. It's bullshit show. Taken. I'm not kidding you. I don't care. I would go in there if you give it to me free. Give me 1,000 purchase free. I will go.
Chris says, pay all the pigeons. Oprah, pay all the pigeons.
Pay them all.
Pay them all. Yeah, maybe every bird should get a prize.
$1 or $5, $1.50.
I'm just saying they're trying to make these $1 million races, and it sounds nice. It sounds great, but when you come right down to it, you can see the pyramid right there. You can see it. You can see they don't put the work in because again, they have to play the pigeons to the crappy pigeons. And I don't mean the pigeons are crappy, but the pigeons are in these huge lofts. They can't fly right. They can't train right. They can't do anything proper.
Yeah,
and they have to take these pigeons and soft kitty them, baby them, spoon feed them, and they go to church and they pray that the damn pigeons come home. And if the pigeons don't come home and they're losing and they're losing and they're losing, you want to know what they'll do when it comes right down to it?
Burn it.
They'll burn it to the ground. And they'll say that their dogs were in the lofts. They'll say that, because man and dog are like best buds. You all feel bad. And all the sheep, they come back to graze again. I hate to say it, but
we already talked about it.
We talked about
Can't work.
Chris says, what about on the return? Yes, you can give yellow drops on the return. Now, if you're giving them on the return, when the pigeons come home, don't give it to them. Give it to them the next day. Sunday morning, if you want to go out and handle them, you can. Remember, when they're going to come home, they're going to want to have a nice good drink. Then later on in the afternoon,
why would you, when a pigeon comes home from a race, give him yellow drops? The pigeon doesn't really like that. So when a pigeon comes home for a race, you want to give him something he likes. You want to give him a nice drink of water. If you're going to put a little honey in it or electrolytes, something that's not going to kill him. You want to give him a place that he can sit and rest. He worked hard after the race. You know, you don't really want to give him the hen right away because he's tired. You know, he doesn't want to jump the hen. So why would you grab a pigeon when he comes from the race, even 2 hours later, and say, "Here, Sonny, you're getting yellow drops."
And
To me, that don't
you
work.
have to remember the day before you gave him yellow drops. When he comes home, I don't even want to bother them. I let them drink. I let them eat. They
That's
want to lay
exactly
down.
right. Let him rest.
Don't give him anything of like I come home and I get bothered.
Yeah.
And
So you put
the next day,
yellow drops in. He's going to get it
oh,
in. He's going to snort a bit. He's going to go. Guess what? Next race, when I come home, that person gets me and tries to clean me out. I don't think that's right.
and the other thing, when they come home, they're full of water. Or they're gonna have feed them. You want them to. The number one thing when those pigeons come home, you want them to hydrate and fuel back up. When you add this to the nose, goes into the nose, into the mouth. If you taste it, it's not the best tasting. You're going to turn off the appetite. You're going to squeeze them a little bit because you're holding them on the side. You're going to upset stomach. You're puking out water. Not good. So I recommend don't do it on the day of return. If you want to give it to them the next day and you don't want to give it to them in the nose, but you want to give them what they do in Belgium, they put it on the feed and they feed it to them. That's it. Or if you want to give it in the nose, you can, but you don't have to. I think once you start the system of once a week, on the day of basketing, you give it. Day of basketing, you pick the bird up, you look at the bird, boom, and into the basket he goes. When you've got them all in the basket, right? Here's another thing. When you get them all in the basket, if you're sending 20 cocks to a race, put 10 cocks in a basket so they can all get down. And here's another thing. I think this is a big thing.
You're talking about comfort.
Comfort.
That's what I'm talking about.
Comfort. Remember, they're going. You want them to be comfortable. You want them, as soon as they get in that basket, to relax. Here's another tip.
So I'm going to extend this conversation once you're finished.
Before you go to basket, if you have the wire grating, I don't like it. Pigeons don't like it. It's not comfortable. But I like to put a nice, thick, deep bed of straw in there. Fresh. And when you put 10 cocks or 8 cocks in a regular basket, you put the basket down, you go to the next basket, you start basking, okay, you'll see after about 5 minutes of those cocks in that fresh straw, they're just lounging, they're laying, they're loafing, they're feeling great,
Relax.
comfortable. They're like in a bed.
Relax.
And I'll tell you,
you got to ask yourself one thing. If I can ask you a question,
fire it in, Seven.
How do you rather feel? The more relaxed those birds can be before they actually go into that trailer is 100%. Now, would you like to stand on ice cold bricks, like bare feet, like I'm waiting to get into the race? No, you'd like to stand on something warm, something that feels comfortable. Relax me, relax me.
I get
The less you unrelax, the better.
That's right.
And the other thing is, I mean, you're going to a race, you're going to be racing this weekend. Big mistake. I know everybody has to work. I mean, that's a downfall for pigeon racing. Call up to your wife. You got a son that's 18. Get Joe, get him. Grab the birds in that section, will you please? Get them. Throw them in a basket. Oh, by the way, get them everything ready. By the way, I'm going to be home in 20 minutes. Tell them to get, because I got to get going to the club. Okay, you know what you did with your birds right there? You totally did them in. You effed them.
Yeah, if you're always the same person
That's what I'm
playing
saying.
them,
I mean,
if
relax,
you're always the
relax.
same person catching them, if you're the same person that baskets them,
And the same as now we're going to venture into another subject, and we talked about it before. But you take your birds to the club, and then I hate to say it, but I'm going to bring it up. Maybe you don't want to bring it up again, but you get a guy in there like Dr. Shivago. He pulls the wing, he opens the mouth, he puts his finger up the bird's rear end and he turns it upside down and he starts telling you what he thinks. Okay, like I'm sorry, but I already said this before. If you're out there, Dr. Shivago, don't be a dick.
But
Don't be a dick. No,
I really think that what you're saying is telling them to not be a dick. I think that's
that's being a
no,
dick.
no, no.
Grow up.
I think what you don't understand is
Oh wait, I don't
yeah,
understand something.
because
I'm sorry.
this is why they do this.
No,
They do it because they're uneducated.
I would get
They're
the
doing it because they're uneducated.
uneducated. I would get the president of the club, and he's probably not educated, or I get the president of the
Yeah, but they're not.
combine.
They're not. They're not educated.
I'd say, hey, this has got to stop, man.
But
It so happened. I know years ago when I was flying hot,
okay.
you'd say all of a sudden, you're flying. Okay, you win one race. Okay, I win another race. I'm right up there in the third race. All of a sudden, yeah. Okay. We're putting birds through. First of all, I don't like the way they put the birds through here. It's shit. But you get, the local beginner guys. They're putting the birds through. That's fine. Thank you for your help, so and so. Thank you for your help with the birds through. But once you win three races or two races, or you're up there, all of a sudden you get the elite. Hold on. Get back, Johnny. I want to handle those birds. And what he's doing is doing this, uh, and then, really? I'm sorry, but that's plain old rude. And I'm bringing that up again because it just pissed me right
And
off.
I think the reason is because they think they know what they're looking for,
Wait a
but
minute.
they can't see it, and you'll never
I
feel it.
didn't ask Dr. Shivago to come up.
I understand this,
Right.
but
So
they've got it in their brain that they're gods.
they're gods. Okay, wait a
That's
minute.
what it is.
The same, I hate to say it, the same creepos, okay? I'm going to say it, and you can cut me off. I'm going to bring my wife down. She's a pretty good looking girl. All of a sudden, I got the creepos. Hey, oh, can I touch your wife? Can I pull her skirt up? Can I touch her a little bit? Hey, buddy, don't touch my wife. The old saying is, you can touch my wife, but don't play with my car. So that's the same thing. I brought these racing pigeons. Who do you think when they go to the racetrack with their horses, all of a sudden the guy that's running against this guy, he comes up and says, "Get away. I want to touch your horse. I want to feel its legs. I want to feel the muscle. I want to open its mouth up. I want to pull its tail up and see how it looks." They don't do that, man. These people
But
that do this, and I've seen it time again, they're a bunch of, I hate to say it, rude, and I can use a lot of other words to describe them. Okay? And I'm not going to do this because this is a family show. But you can take any other word and put it in there. That's what they are. And the trouble is, when you get to these clubs in this area, dare you say to him, "You don't do that with my pigeon." Because then they say, "Oh, you're instigating a problem here." No, 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 I'm not. He's being an idiot. Oh, well, you got to watch what you do. Oh, you're going to be disqualified. That's how it works. I've seen it.
that's right.
I've been there
And
many times.
getting back to this sport, this sport wants to get new people involved, and I think it can, but it never ever thinks
It's
outside the box. Hold on. North America, I don't want to hear that clubs don't have money, people don't have money. I don't want to hear it because you want to know why? There's a lot of one-off races where a lot of people are paying $100 a bird to enter. And I see these races 700, 1400, 6,000, 5,000, 3,000, 2,000, 500, 200, 100, 1,000, 800. Birds, birds, birds going to these races. And I think what And if we were to just take our little area, we've got the Eastern Ontario Combine with 5 clubs. We got the Up North Combine with 12 clubs. We got the Niagara Combine with 7 clubs. If each club
or combine,
each club paid for 3 people at shipping, 3 people, maybe high school kids.
High school.
Hold on, high school kids
or university, first year university.
Anything high. You put it out there. 3 at shipping night. They set the clocks. They clean the baskets. They load the trailers. They basket all the pigeons. You hand your pigeon to them, and they do the rest. They do everything in that club.
They scan
and they get paid. 3 people get paid for each night that they come. Yeah. So they come for the shipping night, and maybe on clock off night you only have 1 person come, so they can rotate or whatever if you guys do clock offs. And what that does is it gets people that aren't familiar with pigeon racing in the sport, handling, learning what's going on. And you want to know what? When I give this to this person, they're not going to go over and grate the pigeon. They're not going to go over. They're going to pull the leg, read the number, scan the band, and put him in. And by the way, guess what? There's no stress.
You're employing 2 or 3 people, whatever the minimum wage is. They're teenagers. Could be 16 to 20 years old, whatever age.
You make an apprenticeship, a program at the local high schools.
At the local high school, and your club, believe it or not, could get subsidized by the government to help get somebody a little job. He's going to get some money to buy his mother some supper tomorrow night, maybe take a girlfriend out. He's going to do this. And he's not going to be Dr. Zhivago. If he gets caught being Dr. Zhivago, he's fired. Bottom line. But this shit show here, which I'm hearing
but
about.
hold on. Just think about this. In this area here, if there are 40 clubs, let's say 30 clubs.
Right.
You take 30 times 3 is 90. You have 90 new people that don't have to have any pigeon knowledge. You're going to obviously teach them. The club will have to give them a seminar on how to do it and show them.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. But you're teaching just in this area, 90 new people about pigeon racing. Oh, and by the way, if they do it for a season, wow, it's pretty good to see you guys next season, yeah. If he does it for 2 years with you guys in his high school program, in his mind, he's probably going to say, Hal, I don't want to play video games. I'm going to try getting some racing pigeons. I'm going to become a club member. If you show 90 people in our area this, guaranteed you get 10, 15, 20 more people participating. Now think about it. If the whole world did it, what would you get?
Oh, yeah.
Hold on, Wait a minute. The box is only this big. Think outside of it. And for all these people that say, oh, the clubs, we can't afford it. All the clubs, we can't afford it. You want me to tell you something? You can afford it.
Do you know how many Dr. Zhivagos there are in clubs that totally depress people with their, I'd have to say, opinion. And opinion could be a good opinion, but it also could be a bad opinion. These Dr. Zhivagos, that's shit opinion. If I want your opinion, I don't need you telling me, ooh, this bird is super. Ooh, this bird's that. No. You're advertising to the other locals? No. Or you say, ooh, this bird feels weak. Ooh, this bird's dark underneath. Ooh, the vent bones are open. Ooh, I don't like the head on this pigeon. And these suckers, these Dr. Zhivagos, that's what they do. And if you stand there and say to them, Shavago, don't handle any of my birds, then the president of the club goes, oh, you can't do that. He volunteered to handle the bird. No, no, no. He's a shithead. Or she.
and
He's a
at
shithead.
the end
And the same thing is we had last year, we had that, what's her name, that broad there? The wife. She was handling the birds with fucking, excuse my language, gloves on. Rubber latex gloves. Pulling feathers off that bird. You think that's right? I'm sorry, but this isn't a chicken plucking organization. Get some respect, man. That same broad wouldn't even handle her own birds like that. She had no gloves on. She handled them like this. That to me is bullshit.
every episode we have an Oscar DeVries moment, and that was their most boneheaded movie
No,
that year.
I'm just saying. You get this broad with gloves, handling latex gloves on pigeons. Meanwhile, all the other pigeons, she didn't have the gloves on, or she did her own
I'm
birds with no
telling you,
gloves on.
I seen some videos on YouTube. The Fernando Valley Pigeon Club.
Yeah,
They're the best. Guy takes his bird out of the basket.
yeah.
He reads the number.
He reads it.
He reads it. He scans the bird.
Yeah.
And they put it in a little container. The guy takes it, sees the band still on the bird.
Yeah.
And guess what? Puts it in the
It's
truck.
professional.
Hold on. Wait, that's great. That is really good. But you want to know what? My idea about getting young people in or people to come and do this, you'll get way more pigeon flyers. You will self-produce pigeon flyers.
I'll tell you something. I had heard. I think it was on the. I should say I shouldn't think. I should know. So I heard on one of the on the combines here.
Mhm.
I'm not going to mention a name, but apparently this one guy, he was jealous of other guys flying competitively, and he was taking the birds when it came time to run them through the scanner, and he was squeezing them and doing shit to them, squeezing them to try and slow the bird down. I know a guy from China. He said, "Do you know how I kill a pigeon?" I said, "How?" "I don't pull its head. I don't knife it. I do nothing. I just squeeze it, and he drops dead." So I mean, you give him a certain kind of squeeze, you know how to screw him up. But this guy was on this combine doing this shit to pigeons that, in competition with somebody else. I'll slow him down this way, and
Your
hate to say it.
chickens are screaming out there.
Okay, brought to you by.
Anyways,
I gotta go out there and close that gate.
these are just things that we notice and we talk about and we bring up because it makes sense. I think it makes sense. And I know all you pigeon men, you're all asking, how do we keep this sport going? And I can see Eddie Ortiz, he doesn't like the one loft races. He doesn't like the trapping. He doesn't like this. He doesn't like that. And I agree. I'm not a big fan of one loft racing. Not that I don't think it's great. I think it is great. I think one loft racing is great. But I think the one loft managers need to make the correct amount of money to do the job because it's a bullshit hard job. I don't think these one loft races should be bombarded with more than 200 or 300 birds, but they got to make the money, but they got to do the work. I don't think the one loft races should fly by themselves. They should fly against combines. And I think if you raise the money of the races, lower the amount of birds that can go into a race, it's going to be better. And I don't mind paying a guy $1,000 a pigeon when I know the pigeons are going to loft fly properly. They're going to be trained properly. He can give them yellow drops in the nose. He can feed them the best feed. He can afford to give them all the good stuff. He can afford to scrape the box perches, clean the floors, or do whatever he's going to do the proper way. Hell, he can properly train them in small groups of 5 and groups of 10s and groups of 2s. Hell, even maybe do a weekend of single tossing. I don't think the races need more birds. We need less birds, with good prize money and proper loft management. And I'm not talking about videos, I'm talking about proper loft management. And again, getting back to these clubs, if you guys just think outside the box and you want to grow the sport, and you're all going to say, well, that means a club, if it club spends ships 9 races in Old Birds, we got to pay I don't know, $2,000 for these kids to come and do this. Have a young bird auction, have a band race, have a charity race auction to raise money. Each club can do it. Or, hey, you just put it in your fees. And I'm not saying you have to pay these kids $100 a night. What is it? What do they pay a kid to be a referee at a soccer game or a basketball game or a hockey game? The kids work 2 or 3 hours. How much do they get paid? You know? But you're going to promote to young people. You're going to promote. And I think after 5 years of doing this, you'll see the young people. They'll say, oh, I like this. This is interesting. I want to get into this. And then you know what? Hey, you get them some birds, give them a manual clock, let them have some fun and play. Just a thought, just an opinion. Just, you know what? Hell, if this gets to somebody and they see it, they see what I see, and they try it, you're helping the youth out, you're giving them jobs, you're introducing them to something that's really fun. They can do it in their home. They're their own managers of their sports teams. I think I think it would work. Hey guys, I started at the Pigeon Club. I think I started at 5 years old doing the bander. Actually, I'm lying. I didn't do the bander at first. At first, I just ripped the tickets. I think I was 4 years old, ripping tickets, ripping the tickets, ripping the tickets. Hold on, guys, 1 second. Come on, Scouty. Ripping the tickets. And I don't mean the tickets, ripping the counter marks. I have to pull the counter marks. And then my next job I got to do was what was it? It was to put the bands on the counter mark and use the bander. Then I would seal the clocks, and I would put the birds through as I got a bit older. Yeah, and Eddie, I agree. It's the responsibility of the older, experienced flyers to teach these newbies the right way to do things. But you know what? Sometimes the old guys, they're the worst. I had someone say to me this weekend that we had an old gentleman who's turning birds over, giving the person their opinion on the pigeons. The old guy's 40 minutes off the pace. He's telling the guy that's beating him what's he's doing wrong, but the old guy's not winning and the young guy's winning. I think you guys know. Do I have Enro Floxen? Brother, message me after the show. Enro Floxen, Batro. Send me a message after the show. We can talk about it. What else did I want to say? Not much. Sorry we were a little bit late. We are going to be on between 8 and 8:30 on Monday nights. Tonight we just got a little bit behind dinner. We had people buying chicken eggs here. We're always selling lots of chicken eggs and honey and stuff like that. So sometimes you're cooking dinner and then somebody just shows up. But you guys always make the shows great. Again, you're not always going to agree with everything we say, and that's totally okay. You're not supposed to. And we're not supposed to agree with everything you say. But if we can get outside that box and think just a little bit differently, we can still keep this sport going because it's a beautiful sport. It's so much fun. And I'll tell you, if the Pigeons only knew what we all went through, right? How the fights are at the club. I wonder if it happens with the Pigeons, but the Pigeons are the greatest part of it. It's going to the clubs and the members and the fighting. It's ridiculous. And the arguing for a lot of times it's nothing. What are we arguing about? But it's competitive juices. And you know what? It's good to have an argument at a pigeon club. Or can't do a fight. You tell somebody off. It's okay. That's good. But remember, afterwards, shake your hands. You don't have to like each other. Let your pigeons do the battling. And next week you come back again. You don't tuck tail and run. You keep playing it. Anyways, guys, we've been on for an hour and 31 minutes. I'm Ryan. Ricky's gone in to get his chickens in. Like, share, and subscribe. See you next Monday. I don't think my song works. So what I'm going to do is play the intro song again. Be safe, guys. We'll see you next week. Bye for now. Goddamn song didn't work. What is going on? Nope, none of it works.